America's digital divide, the gap between communities with high-speed internet access and those without, is greatest in our rural communities. I'm Barry Whitus of the Office of the Comptroller of the Currency. Our agency supervises national banks and federal savings associations, and we recognize the critical role these institutions can play in helping to reduce this divide. Following is a look at a project in Minnesota where local banks help make rural broadband a reality.
Overall, in America, there's about 10% of Americans that do not have access to the FCC standard of 25 megabits download and 3 megabits upload speed. From that, around 39% of rural Americans don't have access to that speed. That translates to 75% of rural libraries don't have the adequate speed. 23% of rural schools don't have the required speed of the FCC standard of 100 kilobytes per student. Rural communities, particularly in the business community, are impacted negatively when they don't have access to quality high-speed broadband infrastructure. So if farmers don't have access to high-speed broadband internet, they miss out on a number of different economic opportunities, basically to market their goods and services and to improve the quality of farming that they can do on a daily basis.
This was the case in south central Minnesota, where communities have been underserved by cable providers for years. Tired of waiting for improved connectivity, 10 cities and 17 townships in and around Renville, Sibley, Nicollet, and McLeod counties form their own telecommunications cooperative, RS Fiber. With financial backing from multiple sources, the cooperative is now offering high-speed internet, video, and phone services through a state-of-the-art fiber network.
When we determined that the phone providers and the cable providers weren't interested in working with this, we formed a joint powers agency of the 10 cities. And it was our financial advisor for our government who came up with the idea of the Joint Powers Board and the individual cities selling a generally obligated tax abatement bond and loaning the proceeds to a private cooperative. And that's what we went after, and that's what eventually worked.
And we wanted to help out in the community. We wanted to help out on the farms particularly. We're saying, well, what can we do for the rural areas again? Well, we can bring them a broadband. We can bring them something that will be equal to anybody that lives in Washington, D.C. or in Minneapolis. The bank got involved with RS Fiber mainly because we wanted to see enhancements in our infrastructure. Not only for our bank, but also for the community, and the community includes also the outlying farms. And we saw the advantages of what RS Fiber, glass fiber, could do for us.
First National Bank of Fairfax was one of the 3 lenders that provided a construction loan for the RS Fiber Cooperative. The First National Bank of Fairfax also purchased preferred stock in the cooperative under the National Bank Public Welfare Investment Authority. Under this special investment authority, OCC's regulations permit banks to make equity investments in certain community development-related projects.
Having fiber optics broadband to our office has speeded up our processes immensely. We are able to work so much quicker than what we had before. One of the ongoing projects that we have right now is with our local ethanol plant, Heartland Corn Products. They are currently in year 2 of a 5-year expansion. The general contractor, the engineering firms that we're working with, they are sending us designs and blueprints daily. The ability for us to download these files very, very quickly has been fantastic. With our old system, we wouldn't have been able to do this.
Initiatives like the RS Fiber Cooperative will lead to increased business opportunities across rural America.
There is a lot of fiber in the current telecommunications network throughout the United States and throughout the world, but very few of them extend that fiber to the home or to the business in a wholesale operation. We will build a fiber optic network to every home who wants it, which means they're connected to the internet at the speed of light.
So I believe that the RS fiber model is replicable across other communities. They really engage in the stakeholder outreach and engagement process in a process that we call aggregation of demand. They basically created a robust market for the creation of the RS Fiber Cooperative.
High-speed internet projects are essential to America's rural communities. Financing for these in low and moderate income areas, as well as distressed or underserved middle-income rural communities, may receive Community Reinvestment Act consideration. To learn about how your bank can support the financing of rural broadband projects, please visit OCC's website.